The legislative session ended on May 21, 2018. The MNCDHH introduced one bill and tried to amend other bills so that they included deaf, deafblind, and hard of hearing people, and worked to increase technological accessibility at the Capitol. We also supported bills introduced by Minnesota State Academies and the State Council on Disabilities, and supported Thompson Hall. The legislature combined many agency bills together into one large bill, and the governor vetoed it. The governor also vetoed the tax bill. But a few of the standalone bills and bond bills passed. Of the 3,500 bills that were introduced in fiscal year 2018, only 100 became law, including MNCDHH's bill. Here are the results. The law solves several problems. Over the years, if the governor's office got busy and old members' terms had expired, new members wouldn't be selected to replace them. At times, we were down to 5 members. Next, the board wanted to hold brief meetings in between full board meetings to discuss issues like contract approvals and the executive director's performance review. Last, they wanted to change our name to one that was easier to remember. Our new statute solves these problems by allowing members to serve up to 3 4-year terms or continuing to serve until a new member is appointed. It builds in a transition period so that there is a balance of experienced and new members. Adding an executive committee that can take care of business in between full board meetings. And change the name from the Commission of Deaf, Deafblind, and Hard of Hearing Minnesotans to the Minnesota Commission of Deaf, Deafblind, and Hard of Hearing. Minnesota goes to the front of our name instead of at the end of our name. Starting on August 1st, 2018, call us the Minnesota Commission of Deaf, Deafblind, and Hard of Hearing. You can also call us MNCDHH or the Commission for short. This was partially successful. $2 million was awarded to preserve and repair their campus. They had requests in for over $6 million, which included funding to build a safety corridor. They were included in the governor's budget, and both parties were supportive of their requests. In the end, there was over $3 billion in bonding requests, and many groups did not get funding. MSA did a great job and got $2 million for maintenance. We met with legislators during the session to discuss our concern about the new tiered licensure law that passed in 2017 that created the Professional Educators Licensure and Standards Board. The new teacher licensing law is a one-size-fits-all. It does not require a specialized license and training to teach deaf and hard of hearing students for Tier 1 and Tier 2. We are very worried about this. We also testified at the PELSB hearings to express our concerns and to say we believe that all teachers who are working with kids who are deaf, deafblind, and hard of hearing need a specialized license. Later this summer, we are meeting with a group from the Board of Educators, Parents, and Advocates to set policy goals and propose legislation. Together, we hope will overcome barriers and challenges in deafblind, and hard of hearing education. The Minnesota Historical Society selected Thompson Hall to be one of two grantees out of 2,200 to present about the success of the Legacy Fund. The Commission provided support and helped organize the hearing. Herman Fetchman, president of the Thompson Hall Board of Trustees, presented to the Senate Environment and Natural Resources Policy and Legacy Finance Committee on March 7, 2018. John Fetcher, president of the Minnesota Association of Deaf Citizens, MADC, and a Deaf Equity Board member, presented to the House Legacy Committee on March 26, 2018. Senator Tori Westrom asked the Commission, the State Council on Disabilities, and the Office of Accessible Technology to meet in March to discuss the potential legislation to make the House, Senate, and the Legislative Coordinating Commission websites more accessible. The Commission played a key role in a compromise that would create a study group that would make recommendations on how to increase access to the Capitol, including policy changes and funding. Senator Westrom decided not to introduce legislation, but asked the leadership of the House, the Senate, and the Legislative Coordinating Commission to create a group to make recommendations for the fiscal year 2019 session. The Commission will be part of the study. We tried to get seniors with age-related hearing loss and seniors who are deaf included in the elder abuse legislation. The House and the Senate supported us being part but disagreed on how to approach the problem. The entire Human Services bill was vetoed by the governor. This was partially successful. $500,000 was awarded for accessibility improvements in state parks in the state bonding bill. The Department of Natural Resources will use the money to make William O'Brien State Park more accessible. Beginning August 1st, 2018, it will be illegal to misrepresent an animal as a service dog. The first violation of the law will be a petty misdemeanor, and subsequent violations a misdemeanor. Businesses may post the sign, "Notice, Service Animals Welcome." It is illegal for a person to misrepresent an animal in that person's possession as a service animal. The Commission was not a part of the advocacy efforts because there were enough advocates actively supporting it. But no, many in the community were supportive of the legislation. For more information and to sign up for alerts, visit our website.